Hey, um, I don't feel good. I don't know what else I could say. I'm in such a rough place. And it's like, I'm so fragile that, like, when people ask me, are you okay? It's like my breaking point, you know? Sometimes when people who are trying to help me, they like ask me, okay, so what's making you sad right now? And if I think about it, it just spirals. It's scary because it's just one thought away. Just one thought. Just one thought to make it all worse and horrible stuff. Yeah. Everything's just really hard. It's really hard right now. This is a tough one, to be honest. Something that's really hard for me is that I feel so alone and lonely, even though I have so many people who are supporting me and helping me in these hard times. It's like when you go through stuff, you're alone. It doesn't matter what anyone says. If people say, oh, you're not alone, there are so many people like you. Where? You can't see them because they're all struggling with their own things. Everyone is focused so much on their own life and their own world to fully care about you. Even people who you find and who are super close to you, they still live their own life and are still feeling their own feelings. They're still feeling happy even if you're upset. They're still feeling okay even if you're so low and depressed. They're still living their life. And it's like, you don't want to surround yourself with negative people who are also depressed because it'll make you depressed. But at the same time, you don't want to surround your people with all your happy friends because it just makes you feel alone. More lonely. It makes you feel more lonely when you're with them. When you're with them, you're hanging out with your friends, they're all laughing and you're laughing, but it's not real. It's just taking up this energy you don't have. So at the end of the day, you have a breakdown, or all the stress and tiredness of having to be fake and happy throughout the day, it all comes back to you in the end. And whether that's being able to be happy 3 days a week and the last 2 days of the week feeling very upset and sad, and then people wondering, oh, are you having a bad day? When you've been feeling the exact same emotion throughout the entire week. It's just the way you've been holding it in. That emotion is always there. Whatever phase of life you're in, that emotion of depression, when you or someone else goes through mental illness, such as depression, it's always there. It's always lurking across the corner. And it's always you who thinks that. You're always thinking when you're happy. This is me personally, though. When I'm happy, I always think about when it's going to end. When this happiness is going to become sad again. And that's exactly what happened to me. I may not have completely thought it, but I subconsciously was thinking that this happiness is not going to last forever. And it didn't. Because nothing lasts forever. Your sadness won't, and neither will your happiness. It sucks though, because even though both those emotions won't last forever, I've talked about this in the other episode, I still want to be able to feel okay. You know? Content. A feeling that I've never been able to feel before. A feeling of not having to feel super happy or super sad. Not having to feel the extremes, but being able to feel just okay. I want to be able to just feel okay. Just be able to have a bad day and be able to have a good day because of things that happen throughout the day. Not because of things that are piling up in my head or thoughts that have just been in my head or chemicals in my brain mixing together to cause depression. I want to have an okay, I just want to feel okay. I just want to have happy moments, sad moments, but I want it to be normal. Normal is a word, it's such a powerful word. Because normal is so rare. So many people aren't normal. And so many people don't feel normal and will never feel normal. Sometimes the way my brain thinks and the way I think, I wonder how it would feel to just feel normal. To be able to think like any other person, or for my brain to work like any other person, or to live a life like any other person. Like, sometimes I wonder, people who don't have depression or don't suffer with any mental illnesses, it just makes me feel jealous. Like, the envy I have for people who don't struggle with health issues or mental issues or anything. They just go through the day, you know? Just go through the day. But then at the same time, sometimes I feel bad. Sometimes I feel like, why would I want to have a life where I just do the same thing every day? Feel happy on some days, feel sad on other days. I don't know. All I know is I'm just not happy with the person and the situation I am in right now. And it sucks when you feel and know there's nothing you can do but wait. It just feels like time and everything is against you. All you can do is just sit and wait for things to get better. And you just wonder, while you're in that waiting period, why do I have to feel like this? Why did I have to do that to make myself like this? Why did this have to happen? Why did that have to happen? Why is it's just all the overthinking gets to you. You try not thinking at all, and it gets to you. You try thinking about it, it gets to you. Try thinking positive. You get tired of wasting all your energy trying to think positive and get to the day. It becomes to a point where all you want to do is just get through the day. Go to sleep, and you do it all over again. All you want to do is lie in your bed and just escape. You just want to disappear even for a little bit. Sometimes when you feel like this, it feels so close to the end. And I wish I could give good advice, because it sucks. It really does suck, because I am such a happy person. I'm very social, extroverted. But when I'm sad, all the things that make me me completely disappear. Happens a lot to a lot of people. And it's worse because usually I have smile depression, you know, like where if I'm feeling low or feeling sad, no one will ever know because I can just fake it. But it's never been this bad before, you know? Like, it's never felt this bad. Like, I understand now. Being the therapist friend, I've always been giving advice to people. And it's like, all the people I've given this advice to and made them feel better and made them overcome self-harm and suicide and depression and anxiety, stress and loneliness, helping them overcome that, I finally became the person who needs help. And now it's like, all my advice just seems pointless. Like, I've never been on the other side. Like, my job is to help you, not to be helped. I don't like asking for help. I don't like... I feel judged. I always feel judged. And I've come to a point where I've never really opened up. So now that I've started opening up, my trust issues have kind of disappeared, which is actually kind of bad, because now I'll open up to anyone and everyone, rather than no one and absolutely no one. It's just like the opposite. I feel like the opposite. I feel like I'm not very social right now. I'm not happy right now. I'm overwhelmed. I'm stressed. I'm not confident anymore. I don't feel like I look good, because I felt like I looked really good. I felt like I had a style, which I did. I have a sense of style and fashion. And it's like, all those things, when they slowly go away, it's like, you're just lost. I don't know who I am anymore. It's like I'm just a soul within a body, confused, just completely confused. And I just want to go back to how everything was. And I know I'm supposed to grow and change and become someone new, but it's really much harder than people think it is and like say it is. I've realized, being the therapist friend, that saying things and helping people and being there for people is much different than dealing with it. Like, going through it, it's really hard. It's like I can feel at peace at one moment, and at the other moment, my leg is bouncing up and down. I'm sitting in a chair. I know I'm about to cry, and I just want to leave. I just raise my hand and ask to go to the bathroom, and then 10 minutes pass by, and I'm just sitting on the toilet with my head down and my hands just shaking. I'm just sitting there. It's like, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing anyone can do. Everyone's here to help me. Everyone wants to help me. I've done so much, but there's nothing I can do. I feel like I've already went through the hopeless phase, though, where I felt absolutely hopeless, felt like there was nothing I can do. Now I'm just going through I feel like the depression part of the 8 stages of grief. I went through the denial. I don't really get angry. I just get upset. So I went through the denial. I went through the upset. I went through the bargaining so much. And I realized I haven't really explained why I feel this way. I'm going to keep it as more anonymous as I can. But basically, a big change in my life happened that I had been preparing for. And one thing went wrong. One thing changed about myself. Like, for example, you could say a bad haircut, something like that. But something changed. I'm not gonna tell you what it is, because remaining anonymous and stuff like that. But one thing changed, which made all the dominoes I had stacked up fall. One domino fell down, so all the dominoes that I stacked up fell. Every single one of them. So I went into this big change without anything. Like, I lost every single part of my being. Everything I prepared for, all the happiness and confidence and overcoming the other issues I had, it all came back. Everything came back. It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. And it's like, when you prepare for a big change and you're excited for a big change, and then it happens at your worst, out of nowhere, it's a pain you can't even imagine. It's a pain I couldn't even imagine. It was so painful. It was very, very painful having to go through something I was so excited for, and I completely destroyed it, and it feeling like it was your fault. Like, I'm the one who completely destroyed this. I'm the one who's going into this, you know? And it's not even me anymore, because I completely killed that person by doing this to myself. Changing one thing, I knew I should have done it. And the day I did that, I regretted it so much. It was the worst decision I had ever made. I'm not even exaggerating. The moment I did it, minutes after, I just felt all the regret rush into my body. Every blood cell in my body turned into regret. Every single fiber and being in my body was regret. And it was so painful to feel that regret, you know? I just lost everything. And going to this new change, everything I was ready to do, making memories, having fun, making new friends, having fun, it all disappeared, you know? And going through it, it's just like the what could have been if my old self was here, if my happy self was here, who I could have been, who I could have become. And it's like, I feel like I know the universe is pushing me to become someone new and change, but I have no idea what I'm supposed to do, because it isn't even change anymore to me. It's just a whole other person that I just don't even know. It's like, who am I? Literally, who am I? And a little trigger warning, but I just feel like death right now it didn't seem so sad. Right now, I'm a little bit better, but a couple weeks ago, death it didn't seem because it seemed like the person I was had already died. So if this person died, it wouldn't have meant anything, you know? Like, I don't know how to explain it. I felt like I ruined and messed up everything. That there was no point to anything anymore. The feeling of just no point. Like I know it'll get better, but I ruined it for right now. And even when I do feel better, I'm gonna have to pick up the pieces that the storm, came. Like this massive storm came and like broke all these houses, broke down these trees, like stop signs, everything fell, Like the storm came and destroyed everything in its path. And even when the storm leaves, I'm still gonna have to be here to pick it all up one by one. So it's like, I just don't even know anymore. And I don't even know. Like my figurative language, I don't even know what it is anymore. It felt like I was drowning. Now it just feels like I'm stuck on an island. I got out of the water. I talked about this in the other episode, but I got out of the water. I reached an island in the middle of nowhere. A small island. Very small corners. If I step even 5 steps across the edge, I'll go straight back into the water and start drowning. But it's like, what do I do now? I'm just on this island and I'm stuck. The storm doesn't seem to be as insane anymore, but it seems like when I'm on this island, storms come and go, So now I'm just sitting here waiting for help, waiting for a plane to come, not knowing if it'll even come. I'm just sitting on an island. And this is a little off topic, but I don't know if this is just me, but physical pain is so much easier to bear than mental pain. I can handle any physical pain someone throws at me. You can punch me in the stomach as hard as you want to, but I will take it any day over mental pain. Mental pain is just so hard. You don't know when the wound will heal. It affects you completely. Like, I feel like your mind hurting is so much more than having to maybe put a cast on a leg. They both affect you daily, but your mind affects you so much more. Like, the fact people feel that physical pain is so much more painful than mental have no idea what they're talking about. And I know I should respect people's opinions, but I can't respect your opinion on that one. And I can argue and debate you because I have so many points on how mental pain is so much worse. But I will stay respectful and just be like, my point of view, me specifically, meant I can't handle the mental pain. Mental strain is just so much worse than any physical pain you could throw at me. It's weird because I'm just trying to let out all the thoughts I have in my body, just let it all out, and there's still so much there. There's just so much left. It's like I'm not even thinking when I'm speaking, it's just all coming out because it was just so ready to be let out. All the it was all so ready. What's even harder is that during this depression, the sadness is still there, but as soon as I start adjusting to it, it changes a little bit, just a little bit, so that I can't adjust and feel comfortable, It's like the sadness is there so heavily that I can't just live. And it just keeps changing. I'll feel upset because of all the things I'm missing out on, and then the next day I'll feel upset because of how I look, because I messed something up about how I look, so I'll feel upset about that. Or the next day I'll feel upset about my family and my home life. The next day, sadness just keeps changing. I'll finally be like, I don't look that bad. And then the sadness will be about, oh, you're getting really bad grades. You go to work on that. And then it'll be like, oh, okay, I have a schedule now. I can study and get good grades. And then it'll be like, oh, your friends don't like you. You can't make new friends because you're so sad. People are meeting you at such a sad place. And it's like, oh. And then you're like, it's okay. I can take a break from being social until I get better. And then it just switches to something else. And then it all just comes back because you're not focusing. And then it's like, you're not focusing, but then when you focus too much on it, it's too much. But then when you don't focus on it, it just all comes at you. It's like, everything's just coming at you. You're at a big crossy road. It's just a road with cars coming left and right, and there's no rules. There's no rules to it at all. You can pass, it's like you can pass the car and keep going, but then it'll just pull you back. The crossy road is just completely rigged right now. Everything is just really, really hard right now. And I'm doing my absolute best to feel better. And I'm just trying to feel okay. But it's like I'm at a point where everyone is so happy and so excited for this change in their lives. And I was one of them too, but now it feels like I'm not. So I feel very alone right now, even though I know I'm not alone. And people who meant so much to me, I'm losing them. It's like in this war that I'm having with myself, I just can't maintain these relationships. It's like I'm giving up, and while doing this, I'm losing people I love so much. I'm losing the things that make me happy, because they don't make me happy anymore. Nothing seems to make me happy anymore. It's like, what is a person without things that make them happy? I have goals, I have passions, but none of it seems to affect me anymore. None of it seems to make me feel better. None of it seems to make me feel like happy to look forward to something in the future. It's just all really hard right now. It's just like I have nothing to look forward to anymore. Because the things that I do want to look forward to just make me feel upset because I'm just so sad, you know? Like, let me explain it better. It's like the things that I'm looking forward to are things that my happy self would be so happy to do. But now that I'm so sad and depressed, I feel like I don't want to go. I don't want to ruin it. It's better if I just don't go, you know? So that I don't give it such a sad reputation. It's better if I don't stand there faking having fun. I could much rather just lie in bed and just, you know, like, feel nothing. I've talked to a lot of people who have dealt with feeling suicidal because, like I said, I'm very good at giving good advice, which sounds ironic as of right now I am feeling really depressed and stuff, but I'm actually really good at giving advice and making people feel better. A lot of people have told me, well, a certain person has told me her feelings of suicidal was because she wanted to feel something. She felt so numb and she just had no emotions whatsoever. It's like nothing made her happy and nothing made her sad. She just wanted to feel something, so she started hurting herself. For me, it's like, it's so crazy how the feeling of self-harm and suicidal is so different. Everyone feels sadness and just like dark times in such different ways. She hurt herself to feel anything, and it's like I hurt myself to escape, you know? I do it because I do it to see the scars that I can see that I'm going through, you know? I do it because it's pain I can control. I can control this pain. I can stop it when I want to stop it. Everyone has such different reasons on why they self-harm. One of my coping skills that I've done for a while, and I've been doing a lot recently, is I like drawing on myself. It's like drawing on yourself, it's also because I have ADHD, I draw on myself, but I like drawing on myself because it's like I can see it, I can control it. It's everything self-harm except without the pain, you know? And it's like the pain kind of does make it all feel better. The pain makes it feel like I'm going through this pain, but I can feel it and I understand why it's here. I understand when it's going to heal. Like, not a specific date, because you don't know when a wound is gonna heal, but I can see the scars, and it's really hard to explain, but yeah. One of my other people that I've talked to told me she self-harmed because she wanted people to pay attention to her. You know, like, it was a call for help because she felt like no one was listening. You know, like, she felt like no one could understand the words that were coming out of her mouth, so she's thought that maybe if she, you know, hurt herself, people would not understand but try to help her and, like, hear her. Not really help her, but hear her and listen to her. Her story I could probably talk about. I'll probably make this episode a little bit longer, but basically she started going through anxiety and having panic attacks and episodes during the school year. This was a couple years ago. And so she had to leave school and stuff because, you know, she was dealing with a lot. And it honestly also, it all started with her leg. She started having issues with her leg because she had bone bruising or something like that. So she started having panic attacks about thinking that, oh, maybe I might not be able to walk ever again. And it's like, it's crazy how when people like talk about their depression and sadness or going through rough times, it's always for the dumbest reasons. Like, it starts of something so dumb like a bad haircut, and then it just spirals. Spiral is such a big word in my vocabulary right now because it's literally so real, and it's something almost everyone who go through depression can relate to. It just spirals from one bad thing. One thing makes it insane, because then her panic attacks and episodes didn't have anything to do with her legs anymore. Like, it just happened because of other stuff, and she started getting sensory issues and all of the above and all of it. And so one day she went to the doctor. One day she went to the doctor in the middle of the night because her legs were hurting a lot. And I'm not gonna like expose her and tell you what she did, but let's just say she had an episode at the hospital and screamed at the nurse. And so because of this, they asked her parents if she, like, that, you know, she needs to be sent away, like, to an institution. Like, not like that, but like a child, probably like a week or so, you know, like not something crazy. But this is actually really common. A lot of kids who are feeling suicidal and other stuff have to go to these places because they're in danger. And it's a horrible place. It's a place that they like don't treat kids nicely, and it's like when you put one depressed kid with a bunch of other depressed and toxic kids, it just gets completely worse. And I don't support it, and I don't think a lot of therapists support it either, but of course some therapists do, and they honestly suck, I'll say that. But it's like she was just such a normal, sweet kid, and she went through all this struggle and ended up in a place like that. And then this lasted for more than 2 years. She just kept jumping back and forth between institutes, therapy, everything, all because she was having issues with her leg that spiraled into mental pain from physical pain, because none of that had to do with her leg anymore. And after that, she left school. Those 3 years of her life, she never could have thought that might happen. Like, a normal childhood would completely turn into something else. And I just remember being there for her, not understanding, like just being there as her friend to laugh around with and just talk. And now that now that I'm going through something, not completely like it, but a little bit different, it's like, I understand the emotions you're feeling now. I understand why you felt like you had to leave school, or why, like, all your feelings I understand now. I relate to a lot of them, but I just want you to know that I understand, you know? Like, of course, I'll never be able to get it, because, you know, what you went through is different, and what I'm going through is different. We're going through two different things, you know? And it's like she self-harmed so that people would finally listen to her and would, you know, give her a break and stop taking her to these like places and therapy and institutions. She just wanted to be like, hey, can you listen to me? This isn't working. None of this is working. That's like she had to deal with that for 3 years because, like, you know, and I kind of understand though, your parents are scared. They don't know what to do, so they just start listening to professionals who are just corrupted, honestly, because of money, and they start listening to them. And then next thing you know, it's just like, yeah. Her going through this still, it made me feel a little less alone. Because it's like I could compare what I'm going through with all these people that I've talked to. Because, like I've said before, I'm a therapist friend. I talk to a lot of people and help them feel better. It's like all their stories now make so much sense. It's like, obviously, it's not like I was such a happy person. I've been in therapy because I do go through stuff. I've just never felt this low before. Like, it's never been this bad before. It's been bad. It's been rough. I've gone through hard times, but it's just never been this hard before or this bad before. So I could still give people advice because only people who go through it can give the best advice. And it's like, I've gone through other issues, like I have family issues, so I've been able to give a lot of good advice about that because it's like, I don't want people to have to feel like people who go through the most shit are the most nicest people on earth because they never want people to feel as worthless, you know? Like they make you like me, like I try to I make people feel as good as they like. It's like when you go through things, you never want people to feel the way you felt, you know? You never want people to go through that. And they're just the nicest people, and they also give the best advice. I'm telling you, people, like when you go through it, after overcoming it, you give the best advice. That's why I can give a lot of good advice for areas that I have gone through. Like, I've gone through that relationship issues. I've gone through those parental relationship issues, those friend issues, those stressful moments, those lonely moments, those social moments. I've gone through it. I've gone through the medical, like, I've gone through it. And now that I'm going through other stuff, I know I'm going to grow from this and I know I'm going to learn from this, but right now, I can't be the advice giver. Like, right now, I need hope. And it's just so much harder. It's just really hard, you know? And it's scary and different and new, and it's like, I'm going through it all alone, being a person, I have no idea who I am. Like, I don't know who I am anymore. It's like, I'm just looking at all the opportunities I feel like I'm missing out on. I feel like all this stuff I would have completely slayed if I was my happy self. And it's just really hard. It's just like, sometimes crying feels like sleeping and crying feel like the only escape. But yeah, I'll talk to you later. Thank you. Bye.